Hello and welcome to VR Reviews. Today we'll be reviewing the Dasin Himura Kenshin. So yes, here we have Kenshin, which is the main character from Rurouni Kenshin or Samurai X, whatever you want to call it. And this is made by Dasin Model, which make unofficial anime figures generally. It's my first figure from them, and I have to say I am fairly impressed. It is a really solid figure. Some people might be put off by the cloth clothing, but it's not the worst cloth I've ever seen, and it's like the only decent figure of Kenshin there is. The old Revoltech is like the only other articulated thing, and it's really, really ugly. So I would say if you want a Kenshin figure, this at the moment is your best option, and probably worth picking up. Starting off with a quick size comparison, of course here we have Kenshin. Here's our standard Marvel Legends Cosmic Armor Iron Man and 3 3/4 inch Marvel Universe Wolverine. Now, Kenshin is actually just about the same sort of height as an American 6-inch scale figure, which is unexpected. So he's going to be bigger than most of your other import anime-style figures, but I don't think he's so big that it's going to be a huge problem. And, of course, he's much bigger than a 3 3/4 inch figure. Now, let's get everything else out of here and just look at Kenshin. Moving on to our 360 spin, as I said before, Kenshin's outfit is cloth. His top is a reddish maroon sort of color with white trim. And then he's got his big, baggy white pants with a sash tied around them. The knot on his sash feels like it's a bit big and kind of juts out a bit too much, but otherwise, the clothing is not too bad. It's not too bulky, and it's also fairly well made. It doesn't feel like it's going to tear very easily or anything like that. The bit of his skin that you can see is a decent flesh tone, not a lot of sculpting, but it looks perfectly fine. And then his feet and little sock things are sculpted, and he's got little sandals on. And that's pretty much it. I think overall he looks perfectly fine. I don't have any massive complaints about his appearance. Obviously cloth figures are not my preference, but I think he looks fine for being one of those. Head sculpt wise, of course, Kenshin has reddish orange hair. The sculpt of the hair is pretty decent, but it does have some minor molding flaws and slightly malformed bits. They're not really bad, but they are noticeable. And he has two different fronts for his hair. They're slightly differently shaped, and the second one doesn't seem to be painted. I'm not sure if that's meant to not be painted, or if that's just like a factory error, but that's how mine is. And then he has 6 interchangeable faces. He has a standard stern expression, a looking off to the side face, a closed eyes smiling face, a looking off to the side gritted teeth face, a big wide-eyed face, and a swirly-eyed face. All these faces are pretty much fine. I'm especially fond of the more comical sort of faces. I think those are really nice. And it is a nice number of faces, so that's all cool. Articulation-wise, Kenshin actually has a pretty decent body underneath his clothing. Head and neck are on ball pegs, so you can get some decent head movement, although his ponytail can get in the way a little bit. Butterfly joints, shoulders move in and out, forward and back, rotate around in the socket a little bit, bicep cut, double jointed elbows, wrist hinge and rotation. Get a ball peg in the chest and waist. You can get some decent body movement. Hips move in and out, forward and back. Thigh cut, double jointed knees, hinge, rotation in the ankles. So you should be able to get him into plenty of decent poses, and the clothing does not get in the way too much. Accessories wise, Kenshin comes with 6 sets of hands. He has 2 fist hands, 2 sword holding hands, 2 sword holding hands with the thumb extended, 2 relaxed hands, 2 other slightly differently posed relaxed hands, and 2 gestury hands. It's a very solid array of hands, no real complaints there. Then he has his sword, which is surprisingly chromed, which I'm not sure that I like. And then you get his sheath and a partial version of the sword which fits into it. Lastly, you get his stand, which comes with 2 different 3-jointed arms and 2 different claws. And the base itself has 3 holes to put the claws in, and also has little attachment things, so you could attach it to another one of these stands if you do have more of them. Packaging-wise, Kenshin comes in an incredibly boring box. It says Himura Kenshin, it's got a window. On the back, it's got a big X, and that's pretty much it. You could technically use it for in-package display because of the window, but it's really, really boring looking, so I would suggest using it for out-of-package display. And that about wraps it up for Kenshin. So until next time, goodbye! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my content, feel free to subscribe and click that little bell thing. I've been told that that does something or other. You can also give me money to buy toys at patreon.com/vrreviews, see pictures of toys at instagram.com/vrreviews, or see tweets about toys at VenomRaptor09 on Twitter. And I would greatly appreciate you doing any of those things.